Huniepop is an 18-plus dating simulator sex game which you may have heard of before, whether it was browsing the internet, finding it on Steam, or just watching YouTubers like Markiplier play it. You've probably seen it somewhere before. The game was really popular back in 2015, and understandably so. The game has fun puzzles, great characters, and lots of fan service. So today we will be ranking the characters in Huniepop from worst to best. I will be ranking them based on their personality, attractiveness, boobs, and my bias towards some of them. Momo is a cat girl. Do I really need to go any further? So unless you like bestiality or you're some kind of furry, well, she might be perfect for you, but for someone like me who's definitely not into any of that, I think I'll pass. You first meet her after you throw out a bag of live goldfish, which, why would you throw out a bag of live goldfish? She pops out and steals your fish, and then you steal her and make her your slave. Her voice is incredibly irritating, and talking to her makes me feel so uncomfortable. She's like 1 in cat years, which is like 15 in human years, and that's like really disturbing. Just talking to her makes me feel gross. It's like I'm on my way to a certain someone's private island. She's a cat, she's underage, she's annoying as shit. How could anyone like her? I genuinely have nothing good to say about Momo. She's just garbage, she's shit, she fucking deserves to die, and I hope she fucking does. Anyways, next entry. Nikki is honestly annoying and awkward to talk to a lot of the times, and her appearance just doesn't really look too appealing to me either. I don't like her blue hair, her flat chest, and she has blue fucking pubic hairs, what the fuck? She was one of the characters I finished last just because she just wasn't interesting enough, and a lot of the other characters were just far better. I mean, like, so much better. Nikki is just so boring. I mean, come on, name someone you know whose favorite color is beige. I'll wait. And she's probably a fake gamer too. I mean, come on, she only likes classic games. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the classic games are actually pretty cool, but the newer games are wonderful. Overall, Nikki's just a lame character. Oh yeah, she's a liberal, by the way. Belly is pretty boring, to be honest. Yeah, she has fine bonkers, but she lacks something far more important. Personality. Who wants to talk to a girl that's more still than a 1-year-old box of Honey Nut Cheerios? Not me. She's very shy, innocent, awkward, and whoa, what the hell? She's basically Ozia from High School DxD, if you subtract all of the annoyingness, that is. Her character is also really flawed. Belly is pretty insecure about her body, but she's a yoga instructor, so how the hell does that work? She also loves to eat junk food, which is something most yoga instructors probably don't do. She just doesn't make any sense. No one in the history of ever has said Belly was their favorite character in Huniepop. And honestly, I can understand the appeal for Nikki as she's relatable. She plays games, she's ugly, boring, antisocial, annoying. She's just pretty much 99% of the Huniepop fan base. But Belly? Who the fuck likes Belly? By the way, that last part about, the fan base, that was a joke. Just a joke. Don't get mad, please. I do think Belly is better than Nikki in my opinion, but only because her boobs save her. That and Belly isn't nearly as irritating as Nikki is. Belly is still a pretty bad character though. Lola is a very classy, elegant lady, but she's also very arrogant, entitled, loves talking about herself, is self-centered, and just kind of unlikable. Her looks are fine, and I'm just not really feeling her personality. Lola's hair is horrendous though, but it's not really that big of a problem because you can always change it to a better one, but yikes, that afro just does not look good. Lola is also like never in town, which makes sense obviously because she's a flight attendant, but I feel like she's just never in town when I need to talk to her. I don't really have anything else to say about her because she's just boring and I simply don't care about her. So, yeah. Okay, Palutena, I get there hasn't been a Kid Icarus game in like 8 years, but is this really necessary? Actually, yes it is, she's fucking hot, man. Venus is the god of sex, the ruler of all sex fairies. She's the master of Kiyu, and she's basically the final boss of the game, because once you do all the girls, including Kiyu, and not including Celeste and Momo, you unlock her. And she's got some fantastic jugs, man, holy shit. And by no means does me putting her down here make her a bad character or anything. I just simply think that the rest of the other characters are better. Her personality just isn't as good as the other characters, and she's just not as memorable as them. So I think this is a good spot for Venus. So Celeste is an alien, a really hot one. And her boobs are out of this world. Get it? Because she's an alien, I'm killing myself. Now, I don't typically have a thing for aliens, but Celeste is just good. There are 3 things you notice about her instantly. Her horns, and that she's blue. I know some people probably don't like her just because she's blue, but putting race aside, she's awesome. Yeah, her personality may not be the best, but then again, she's not a human being. She's an alien, so who the fuck cares? She is pretty interesting though, like, I want to know more about her. How her home planet is, how she ended up here, and how the fuck she's not in pain after having her nipples pinched like that. Alright, so Kiana is really cool. She has some nice mommy milkies, and she has a really good personality. She's in really good shape as well, and you can tell she really takes care of her body because she's always in the gym. She's actually a really great character, and she'd be at least number 4 on this list. That is until I found out she had a child. Now, I usually hate children, but Philip is just badass. But he's too badass. He gets to suck mommy milkers every day, and that's badass. He's just so cool that I wouldn't really be able to take care of him myself. In all seriousness though, Kiana got pregnant, and that's fucking gross, and whoever impregnated her was also very grossed out because they left. I know for a fact they didn't leave because of Philip, but maybe it was because Kiana was a bitch and they couldn't even stand her. Okay, I'm just kidding, but Kiana's still pretty great, but I just don't think she's as good as the other characters. But yeah, I mean, she was one of my favorites at first, but I just don't like her as much anymore. Tiffany is the most normal girl in the game, probably. She's definitely one of the most relatable as she goes to school, she's athletic, she hates her mom, she does cheerleading, she's really smart, she hates her mom, she's pretty attractive, she hates ugly people, and she also hates her mom. When I first played the game, I liked her a lot, but honestly, she's just been slipping on me. She's too normal. She used to be top 3 for me until I realized that there's just nothing that really makes her stand out as much as some of the other characters. You know, like Q being a fairy, Celeste being an alien, Venus being Palutena and a god. Seeing as she can be very bland sometimes just makes her boring. There isn't really anything I dislike about her, though there isn't really anything super interesting about her either. I liked her a lot when I first started playing, and I still do. Though she lacks anything special, she doesn't have anything that makes her dislikable. Like, Momo's whole cat thing is super annoying, and Celeste being an alien is just like her entire character. But Tiffany is just Tiffany and nothing else. But she's still top 5 due to personal bias. Most people who really played this game either really love her or really hate her, and I happen to really love her. And I can definitely understand why a lot of people would hate her as she's a massive bitch and a druggie, but in my opinion, her bitchy personality is what makes her great. She's just a really fun character, and she's actually fun to talk with, and she's a lot more interesting than someone like Nikki will ever be. I don't even understand how they're best friends since they're complete opposites. Nikki likes staying home gaming, while Audrey likes to go out to parties and getting high and stuff like that. Of course, people like Audrey in real life are like terrible people, but this is a game. It's supposed to be fun. You cannot tell me someone like Belly is more interesting than Audrey. Come on, she's a yoga teacher. Who the hell even does yoga? She is the most unique character when it comes to customization, as she has a lot of different colorful hairstyles and clothes to choose from. While I like Audrey's original hairstyle the best, there are many more unique ones to choose from, such as the emo hair or the jaw hair. Audrey is just awesome, and if you disagree, fuck you, and honestly, go fuck yourself. So, Q is the first girl you meet. When you first meet her at the bar, she's this brown-haired girl who you have a really awkward conversation with. She then appears in your room some random day with a completely different look. Now she's got pink hair and a set of wings, and that's because she's a sex fairy. She trains you into becoming this super mega sex machine. She's like the Master Roshi or Jiraiya of Huniepop, except a female and way younger. The fuck? She's 384? Honestly, she's just a really fun character. She has a fun personality, she's fun to talk to, she's way cooler than Venus, her sex god, and she has a colorful design which is very cool. She teaches you how to play the game and then kinda just lets you go on and do whatever you want for a while. She just spends her time sitting in your room secretly watching you plow your way through every girl in existence. That or looking through your porn magazines. And for the record, those aren't mine. I don't know how those got there. Eventually you do get to add her to the mix, which is all fun and games till you remember she's 384 years old. Oh well, who cares? Jessie is the horny MILF in your area. She loves sex, she's a porn star, and she's just really great. Some people might not even like her just because of her age. She's 36 years old, which to me isn't an issue because she does not look old at all. She does have a child, and no, it's not Philip, unfortunately. It's Tiffany, who, funny enough, you can also fuck in this game. They probably have a special mother and daughter bond, and it's always nice to see a great mother share her motherly love with her offsprings. Anyways, yes, Jessie is a hoe. Big hoe. Biggest hoe of them all. But she's a great hoe. Tons of experience, good personality, boobs. I mean, when I hear dating simulator anime sex game, she's the type of character I expect to be in it. The pics she sends you after dates are really well drawn. Props to whoever the artist is, they did a hell of a job with these. She is actually super important to the honey plot, which is something not many people realize. Jessie being Tiffany's mom was one of the biggest plot twists in gaming history, and the lore behind her is insane. Who was the man that got her pregnant at 16? Was it the same man that got Kiana pregnant? Why did she get Belly the swimsuit with the weed on it? So much mystery and lore surrounding her that I can't imagine how Huniepop would be like if Jessie wasn't in the game.
I think y'all might have remembered my science teacher I had a crush on. As I said, she didn't really look that good and she was a little on the fat side. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, I'm just saying. She kind of looked like an abused hooker, to be honest. So there was an era where me and her kind of both flirted with each other, and this one time I was kind of looking at her and I had a boner in class. And I also had an umbrella that day, and she noticed and asked if I wanted to put it in the back of the room, so I get to come back and get it later at the end of the day. I was a little excited and I accepted the offer right away, because I wanted to get the umbrella at the end of the day, hoping she'd be alone. So I accepted it and I still had the boner. She told me to put the umbrella in the back of the room, and I did, but I still had the boner. So I tried my best to hide it with the umbrella, and I had to pretend to tie my shoe to buy myself some extra time to get the boner away, and I was really struggling. So, I was just kind of on the floor awkwardly staying there, waiting for my boner to go away, and she was a little confused and looked at me weird. She asked if I was okay because I was really kneeling down. Eventually, it did go away, and then I put the umbrella at the back of the class. Unfortunately, nothing came out of it though.
Yeah, so Aiko is my favorite character in the whole game. She's just that hot teacher everyone has always wanted. She's a teacher at that one college that Tiffany and Audrey go to, and I think Nikki also goes there, I'm not too sure. And Aiko has some pretty interesting kinks, and she's very open about them as well. The Huniepop wiki states, Aiko likes erotic asphyxiation or breath control play, which is a paraphilia that involves being choked or choking oneself to cause sexual arousal. That's kinda weird, but kinda cool. No other characters except maybe like Jessie are into these kinds of unique sex rituals, which is kinda funny to me. Aiko just has this amazing personality and she's really fun to talk to. She's a pretty funny character who also has a great sense of humor. She's very sarcastic and likes making jokes about her Japanese stereotypes. One thing I like about her is how she's a teacher, but she hates teaching, and I can't really blame her either, cause students probably suck ass and they're terrible to deal with. And Aiko is like really smart too, just not with her money. She spends a lot of her time at the casino gambling, but she's not broke, so I guess she must be doing something right. Now, anyone who's played Huniepop knows that Aiko is Japanese, so let's talk about Japan. They created anime, instant ramen, Nintendo, hentai, squat toilets, and so much more. Point is, Japanese things are cool, Japanese girls are cool too, and Aiko is cool.